Good morning, everyone. Thank you for being here today. I would like to begin by acknowledging that we are gathered on the traditional lands of Treaty 7 First Nations and also recognize and acknowledge Métis people of Alberta who share a deep connection with this land. My name is Irfan Sabir and I'm Alberta NDP candidate in Calgary, Buller, McCall. Today, I'm here to reveal the true costs of Danielle Smith's and the UCP's plan for healthcare. Right now, Albertans are struggling with the worst affordability crisis in 40 years. The UCP has piled more and more costs onto Alberta families and their budgets for 3.5 years. More taxes, more fees, more for insurance, and for utilities, gasoline, and groceries. Worst of all, Danielle Smith and the UCP are planning on introducing the biggest tax increase Albertans will ever experience. Doctors, nurses, paramedics, parents, and Albertans across this province have been desperately begging for the government to properly fund healthcare. And instead of listening to them, Danielle Smith and the UCP's solution is establishing a payment relationship between you and your doctor. That is, if you can find one. Instead of investing in public health care, they want to sell off over hospitals to private operators. They think forcing Albertans to pay for a visit to the emergency room might reduce wait time. It won't. It will only cost more. We have seen the numerous videos and we have read her papers and columns. Only 10 days ago, the Deputy Premier, her second in command, was recorded saying Albertan might think twice about going to emergency room if they had to pay for it. That wasn't a video from last month or last year. This was 10 days ago. These are their own words. We have no choice but to believe them. This is unacceptable. It is frightening, and it will be extremely costly. We did the math, and the true cost of Danielle Smith in the UCP is frightening. If they had their way, treatment that should be free and accessible to all of us would now cost thousands of dollars. So many Albertans are struggling to pay their bills as it is, and probably can't spare an extra fees just to see a family doctor. When Albertans can't afford to see a doctor, they only get sicker. And then they end up in the emergency room for treatment. Under Danielle Smith in the UCP, seniors would end up paying $6,700 to treat a serious bladder infection, $9,000 for a simple knee replacement, and $9,500 for a simple hip replacement. Seniors with dementia, who often need more complex care, might end up paying close to $20,000 for their hospital visit. And these are some of the most common conditions and procedures that seniors are treated for at the Rocky View General Hospital right behind me. Under the UCP, an expecting mother could end up paying $4,200 just to deliver a healthy baby and might be forced to pay another $150 only days after for newborn visit and follow-ups. A parent of a child with special need could end up paying hundreds of dollars for regular visit with their family doctors and specialists, and $3,200 if they visited the emergency room because of an asthma attack. Data from the Government of Alberta calculates the average cost of a hospital stay at the Alberta Children's Hospital totals around $12,700. At the Foothill Hospital, an average stay costs $9,000. And the Rocky View General Hospital right behind us averages around $8,000. All of these costs are increased for higher risk patients who need more complex care. Danielle Smith in the UCP want to introduce a system where Albertans pay thousands of dollars for public health care, one that penalizes Albertans simply for living with a chronic illness. Danielle Smith and the UCP are focused on wrong priorities. They want you to have a payment relationship with your family doctor. They don't care how much this will cost you or your loved ones. Albertans deserve so much better than this. Thankfully, on May 29th, Albertans can choose better and vote for the Alberta NDP. A better future with better healthcare means you and your family will never pay to see a doctor or visit the emergency room. Our plan for family health teams means that you will get the care you need when you need it. Our plan will take the pressure off our hospitals. It will improve the quality of life for healthcare workers and improve the quality of life for all Albertans. We will also launch the largest healthcare workforce recruitment campaign in the history of our province. We have a robust plan to recruit and train healthcare professionals and to keep them here. We will offer competitive signing bonuses, support foreign trained professionals as they work to become licensed to practice here in our province. And we are going to put in place more training and practicum opportunities so that we can make sure we are training the necessary healthcare staff for future generations. Our strategy is ambitious, but it has to be. It is critical to our future. It's going to take real political will from a stable, competent, and trusted government to truly end the crisis in healthcare. We promise you we will get the care you need when you need it, not an hour away, but close to home. We can fix healthcare. We can bring doctors back. We can support our nurses without ever pulling their debit card. We can build a better future for all Albertans. With the Alberta NDP, Albertan can rest assured their health card is the only card they will ever need to use to access health care. In 11 days, Albertan can choose a better future for them and their family. Also, before I open it up for questions, I also want to say that on my way here, I heard the news of the Ethics Commissioner report. I'm yet to read that report in detail, but I can say that what the report confirmed is that Danielle Smith did in fact break the law. I'm happy to take your questions.
I understand that you haven't read the full report, but can you talk to us a bit more about the Ethics Commissioner's finding and your take on that?
I think we have been saying all along that Danielle Smith, in her conversation with Arthur Pawlowski, in her conversation with Justice Minister, Deputy Attorney General, and the claims she made about her in touch with Crown prosecutors on a regular basis, that's offside. And this report says that she contravened Section 3 of the Conflict of Interest Act, and certainly it confirms that Danielle Smith did break the law.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the report, in her conclusion, the Ethics Commissioner said, she's not making any recommendations with respect to sanctions against the Premier right now, but she reserves the right to do so when the Assembly is back. What do you take away from that?
I think as Ethics Commissioner has reserved that right, so I would not comment on that. I will leave it for the Ethics Commissioner. But one thing I would say, that Albertans don't have to reserve the right to pronounce their judgment on May 29th. They have that report. They can read that report for themselves. Danielle Smith did break the law. They can pronounce their judgment on May 29th because she cannot be trusted.
Yeah, Sure, if I may, one more. The commissioner also recommended that all new MLAs actually take training that honestly sounds like a social studies class out of high school. That MLAs must take training about the structure of Canadian government and the roles of the three branches of government. Is that not something that MLAs should already understand before running even for a seat in the legislature?
Yes, I think that what we expect that MLAs and those running for premier office would know. But lately, what we heard, in particular from Danielle Smith, that she was talking about giving amnesty to those charged with COVID related infractions, those charged with uh, charges in relation to court blockade, that she would look at giving them amnesty. And then on multiple occasions, Danielle Smith was seen and heard on video saying that she has been in touch with Crown prosecutors, she has been talking to them regularly, she has been talking to Deputy Attorney General about these cases. So that clearly shows that she doesn't have any understanding of the separation between different branches of the government. So certainly, if somebody is running for public office, they should know. If not, I think ethics commissioner's recommendation does make sense.
Hello, Loganstein City News here. In the UCP statement from Danielle Smith, she says that the CBC and the NDP have repeatedly lied to Albertans for months regarding this whole case. What is your response to that now that we have this verdict?
I can talk on behalf of NDP, and what I will say, all we said is what Danielle Smith said on videos, and what she said was that she has been in touch with Crown prosecutors on regular basis about COVID-19 related cases, about court blockade, those cases. That was said by Danielle Smith multiple times. We just pointed that it's wrong. That's interference in the justice system. And this report from Ethics Commissioner confirms that she contravened the Section 3 of the Act. She did break the law. And I also want to remind all Albertans that she was trying to help Arthur Palwowski, who is now convicted of inciting violence against law enforcement. That's the person who she was willing to put her thumbs on the scales of justice. That's who Danielle Smith is, and she cannot be trusted.
Yes, there is. Thank you. With obviously we're really close to the election date here, with weeks to go. Does this change how you guys go about approaching this next week and a half now that we have kind of an outcome on this?
I think this verdict confirms what we have been saying all along, that her interactions, as she claimed, with Crown prosecutors, with Justice Minister, with Deputy Attorney General, with Arthur Palwowski were inappropriate. And this verdict clearly shows that she broke the law, and Albertan on May 29th can pass their judgment, pronounce their judgment on it, and they will be informed by a report from an independent officer of the legislature, namely the Ethics Commissioner.
No, that's all. Thank you very much.
Thank you.